Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon, Sharpe.
Hi, Jenny.
Morning.
Hey, you showed up. Shannon Sharpe.
I was worried.
I don't know what happened. Whatever happened to St. Nick? What happened to Tua for Heisman? What happened to that? He got a stanker going on down there. I could smell it all the way to Los Angeles because it stinks.
You know what, Skip? I started to bring a prop today.
Yeah.
I started to bring a box of Tide and just pour it in the trash.
Oh, you could have done that.
I couldn't do that at Coach. I can't do that at Coach Saban.
So, Jenny, I have a promise to make to our faithful viewers today.
Okay.
All day long, I'm going to troll Tide. How about that?
Don't
You
do
can
that,
roll Tide. I'm going to troll Tide.
Hold on.
How about that?
What about the Super Bowl?
What about them? They
Okay,
took their
then.
shot. They had no defense.
Well, we ain't had no defense last night.
Thank you. Next
There
question.
you go.
Here we go.
Glad you came to work, though.
Yeah.
I was worried.
I peeked around the corner. I said,
Did you?
Skip coming today?
Yep.
He's like, yeah, he showed. I was like,
Better
Started to leave.
come prepared.
Better
Started to leave, Skip.
prepared.
Yeah.
We have a lot to get to. I'm glad you're both here for today's show. Our Skip's Cowboys getting disrespected. And will Tom Brady look like the GOAT or an old-ass man?
Ooh, Jenny said old-ass man.
Yeah, you know, I didn't say it first. But let's start with last night's college football championship game. Clemson and Alabama may have been a familiar matchup, but it was a totally different result. The Tigers started the game with a pick six, and freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence threw 3 touchdown passes. Clemson blew out Bama 44-16. It was the first time a Nick Saban Alabama team has lost by more than 14 points. Let's take a listen to both teams after the game.
There was a lot of talk about best ever all year long. We were never in that conversation. But tonight, there's no doubt. You know, first 15-0 team to beat Notre Dame and to beat Alabama to do it. This team won 13 games by 20 points or more.
It's just been amazing. The focus and how driven this team has been unbelievable. And just these seniors have just taken me in, and they kind of dragged me along, and until I got my feet under me, and they're awesome people.
One game doesn't define who you are, but I also told the players that sometimes we learn more when things don't go well, when we lose. You have to learn how to lose as well as how you win. And there's a lot of lessons for us to learn from the experience that we had in this game.
Okay, Shannon, what happened last night?
Clemson happened. Can't believe Alabama got beat by a quarterback that should be at Hermosa Beach with a surfboard. Talking about rad, gnarly dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who beat him.
He was having an excellent adventure last night.
Skip Bayless, dude, look. It's not, these were clearly the two best teams.
Yeah.
All year long, I've always felt that Clemson had equal the amount of talent. They were equally as physical. Dabo Swinney, I've always felt in the last couple of years, he's the second best coach in all of college football. And
He might be the first best, but go ahead.
You see,
Well, he might be. I don't know.
Ask you anything.
I don't know.
You do know.
Yeah.
I want you to stop it. And let's just say Alabama doesn't turn the football over. Alabama doesn't go for it on 4th down and on the fake field goal. I believe even if Alabama had not turned the football over, even if Alabama had not made the mistakes they made, I still believe Clemson beat them. They don't beat them by 28 because the mistakes compounded that. But I believe last night Clemson was clearly the better football team, and they were going to win that game. And the mistakes that Tua made, this is the worst game that we've seen Tua play. That not only did he play, he finished. And it didn't seem like he got injured at any point in time in the game. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's ego, maybe that was injured. But I couldn't see any physical ailment, Skip. There were so many breakdowns defensively that we saw from Alabama. And maybe because Skip, at the end of the half, I turned the sound up because I wanted to hear what Coach Saban said. Coach Saban said, well, they got in a couple of sets, they ran a couple of plays that we hadn't seen before. The whole first half, because it didn't look like, with the exception of the first drive, Skip, like you didn't stop anything. So they showed absolutely nothing that you had seen on tape from the previous games. I find that very hard to believe. Skip, Alabama, Tua throws a pick six. They get back to come with a double move. I said, look, what they're doing is that they're sitting on routes, they're bringing pressure. Double move's going to be there. They run the double move. It's 2nd and 25. They pick up like 7, 8 yards. Now it's 3rd and 14. Skip, they run 2 rails. Thompson, the free safety. Skip, he's AP, first team All-Pro. They run two seams. He doesn't move out of the middle of the field. I'm like, bro, what are you looking at?
I don't know.
Skip, what did he see? So there were so many mistakes. But you know what? Today is not about what Alabama didn't do. Today is about what Clemson did do. And if Clemson was playing anybody else, because I know Coach Sweeney, I know Dabo very well. I would consider him a friend. Text him from time to time. I congratulate him, wished him luck. But Skip, they were unbelievable last night. This is the type of defensive performance we're used to seeing from Alabama. Skip, you remember in the championship game against LSU where they shut them out? Or in the championship game against Notre Dame, we were like, wow. But those teams, Skip, we didn't think LSU could get to 35, 40 points. This is a new day in time. And for you to hold a team that averaged 47 points in the regular season and you hold them to 16 in the first half and you shut them out the second half, given what they represent offensively, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. So today is not about Alabama. You know, Coach Saban's right. You have to learn how to win. You have to learn how to lose. And you have to be gracious in defeat. You learn a lot more in defeat than you do in a victory. But last night belonged to the Clemson Tigers, and it was a victory well-deserved.
I will echo that. I want to congratulate the Clemson Tigers, Dabo Swinney. He gave a very real, emotional, straight-from-the-heart post-game interview that was one of the best I've ever seen from a winning coach. He said real things about real people and what he believes in and what his program is built on, and I respect the heck out of all of the above. But right now, for my moment here on this show, this is still going to be about Coach Saban, because here we go again. All I've ever heard is that Coach Saban's specialty is coaching the defense, especially the defensive backs, which he still takes under his personal tutelage, I'm told. I'm not at the practices, but that's what I read. And once again, in a big stage game, we saw Coach Saban's defense get torched. And this has happened regularly through his tenure at Alabama. And you have called him the greatest coach ever, beyond Bear Bryant, beyond Bud
Coach
Wilkinson.
Leahy.
Huh?
Yeah, Coach Leahy. Coach McKay. Coach McKay. Yeah, all of them.
Those. So once again, he gets torched, except this time he got torched by a 19-year-old true freshman, and he got torched with the throw more than the run because Clemson ran pretty well. Alabama actually ran better than Clemson did.
Well, Clemson ran it late.
Yeah.
They ran it exceptionally well late.
Yes, they did. So, obviously, Tua's early pick six did not count against what happened on the defensive side of the football. And I got to give Tua one break here because I was highly impressed that after he said, that's on me, then he came right back in the next series and he threw an angry bomb to little Jerry Jeudy that tied the score. And it was impressive. That was highly impressive because that was an all-guts throw where he said, okay, I got you. I'm going to get your back and get you back in this game. And he did at that moment. And I want to point out to everyone, there was actually a point early in the second quarter in which Alabama led this football game 16-14. Don't forget that. From that moment forward, Clemson scored 30 unanswered points. 30 unanswered points on St. Nick's defense? That is ain't Nick strikes again. That's ain't Nick. 30 straight points.
Why you do that, Skip?
That's Big 12 bad
Skip,
defense.
why would you do? Why do you take
30,
one game?
30 straight points. Well, let's take 2 games in a row because my Sooners, once they got untracked in the second half, if we take the second half of the Oklahoma semifinal game and all 4 quarters of the championship game, Ain't Nick's defense got outscored 68-30. That's the score of those 6 quarters. It's 68-30, opponent over Coach Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide.
But y'all was out of the game.
That's horrendously bad. That's 68.
We're not counting Oklahoma because it was 28-0.
I'm counting it right now. And we have to, you glossed over this part, but we have to take Coach Saban to task because he got pretty crazy desperate in the third quarter because they came out and drove the football. They went 51 yards on 12 plays, and it looked like it was starting to click a little bit, but then they finally got stymied. They're down 31-16, which is the halftime score, and it's 4th and 6 from the Clemson 22-yard line. 6 yards you got to make. And all of a sudden, Coach Saban attempts to run the dumbest fake field goal I've ever seen in all my years watching football because I don't understand the concept of it. because he snaps it to the holder, who's actually the third-string quarterback, named, what's his name, Mac Jones? Yeah, so it's to Mac Jones, who just stands up and runs forward with the kicker as his lead. The kicker is your lead blocker? Really? And
But Skip, they're in field goal safe.
okay.
They expected this.
Well, so did Kirk Herbstreit expected it. Everybody's like, well, they could run a fake here, but it's 6 yards. It's not 4th and 2 or
Right.
4th and 1 or 4th and inches.
But you know what happened, Skip? You know why he did this? Because his field goal kicker, his kicker missed the PAT.
Okay, all right.
So he became.
I got that. It's just the concept is so simplistic that I'm saying that's going to have a hard time working, because how many times has the immortal, what's his name, Mac Jones? I don't know much about Mac Jones, but how many times has he run with the football in a football game? I don't guess he ever has.
And definitely not up the middle.
Not up the middle. So it gets blown up for whatever, -2.
Yes.
And that was pretty much the football game at that.